All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome anybody who's new here. Obviously, if you've seen the title and the description and you looked at that little thumbnail thing, we're going to talk about these boots again. This is actually my second review of the Baffin Zones, but if you guys have been around at all, you know that I want to put things through the test, and this fall I've been beating them up really bad. I've actually done some stuff that I wasn't intending to do with them, I guess you would say. But it's a stress test. So if you guys are looking for an honest review on a product, stay tuned. Alright guys, so like I was saying in the intro, this is going to be your simple, honest review. I'm going to go over some really key points that I think if I was going to look for a new pair of hiking boots, I could honestly say that I would be looking for, and as far as like the talking points are. The first thing I want to talk about is something that I discovered on accident, and like I said in the intro, I didn't fully intend to test this theory. So if you've seen my other video, I kind of went over like all the points that I thought might be useful, but this one is just funny. So like, you guys might get a kick out of it. Boot kick, haha. I don't know how bad my jokes are gonna get today. Anyways, so it says waterproof right here. Obviously you're like, yeah, it's waterproof, whatever, all boots say that. Now, I was shocked and very happy to find out that so I was fishing a creek, and something I do a lot in the fall is walk creeks and rivers. When it gets kind of cold, or if it's not, like necessarily a nice day out, I don't walk in the water. I walk along the rocks and the shorelines. If the water's low, you can kind of walk around in like the thin, skinny water. Well, I got my bait snagged on a rock, and it was one of my favorite jerk baits. If you guys look back through my other videos, if you look through the other Tackle Tip Tuesday days that I have a whole playlist for Tackle Tip Tuesday. If you guys are new here, check out that playlist if you want to learn some stuff. That's what that whole list is for, to help everybody learn stuff. But I digress. I got one of those jerk baits snagged on a rock, but I could see that it was just like stuck on the other side of the rock, and I'm like, this would be just so stupid to break it off. And I was looking at the water, and I looked at my boots, and I was like, the water looks like it's like 4 inches over the top of those rocks, and there was like a break line where somebody had like stacked up rocks that were flat to walk across the river, obviously when it was very, very low, when it would only be like 6 inches deep. And I'm like, well, here's the deal. I'm going to walk across those rocks, I'm going to step on one, my foot's going to go underwater, and if the water comes over the top of the boot here, my foot's going to get wet, and I'm going to get wet socks, and I'm going to be wet for the rest of the day. And I was just like, whatever, I'll deal with it. I want my bait back. We've all been there. So I started walking across the rocks. The water started coming up over the side of the shoes, and it was hitting me about this high. So like, I was purposely keeping my foot like angled downstream, so the water was like hitting me like this. And then like I took a step one time, and the water went like right over the top of my shoe. And I was wearing shorts, so I didn't care if it went over the top of my shoe personally, but it was only hitting like right here, and I'm sitting there focused on getting my stuff out, and then I got out of the water, and I was like, I was like, okay, so my shoe and everything inside here is bone dry. Well, that's when I was looking at my shoe, so I took them off when I got back to my truck. So this right here, I guess, is neoprene or some kind of, the way they made this, these are actually waterproof all the way to that. So where that connection is, so they're waterproof that deep. So like if you're walking along like a shoreline or something like that, and there was no waves or anything, right here. So what do you guys know, like that's probably like 4 inches. And I didn't even think of that. They're hiking boots. Like that's why I got them, is they're rugged, tough hiking boots. Something I can beat up. I can walk on, sharp rocks with and not worry about them getting chunked up or nothing like that. But it turns out they're actually waterproof. So like a water shoe almost. I'm going to say that they're not meant for like obviously submerging them, because it's not like it's got a neoprene top or a sock to it. So, but But yeah, that was a big plus. Another key point here, and I'm gonna set this down so you guys can actually see this, has been these soles. And I mean, no, I haven't had them for 10, 15 years or anything like that, but I've been walking across some really rough stuff, and obviously you can see I'm using them. They're dirty still. Not entirely sure what that is. Not the happiest thing in the world putting it on my desk. Obviously gonna clean that. But something simple though, like the way these lugs are on this thing, they're almost like a snow boot. Like, this is some heavy duty rubber, whatever they made this out of. Obviously you can see, like, it looks like it's kind of wearing down from walking across all the pavement that I do. And that's, I mean, that's just like the rubbery little like bumps on them. But I mean, as far as traction goes, these guys are beastly. And another thing about them that you guys will like is, well, so this is questionable. This is all for your information to use when you want to, you know, pick some up if you're going to get them or not. This sole is really stiff. So like, I'm pushing on that. I think there's actually something inside here that keeps this stiff. So like, it's nice because like if you jump down off of like a little rock face or something like that and you jump onto some sharp rocks, obviously if you wore any kind of like tennis shoes before or something and you made the mistake of jumping off of something to something else that was sharp, you feel it in your foot and it hurts. Well, I was jumping up and down rivers for a while now and doing some little mini mountain climbing scenarios to get to where I needed to go and get out of where I was at. And so far, like I stated in the first thing, this toe cap is like a rock. I mean, you can see I've been kicking stuff with it and beating it up pretty good. And then the sole is solid. So that's all dependent on you. If you want something that flexes more like a minimalist shoe, obviously these wouldn't be for you. But these guys, for anybody who really goes like out of their way to get off like their beaten path, and they really do some like rocky, rough terrain climbing, these things are super tough. Okay, so 2 key points were waterproof and super tough. Now, another thing so far, and like I said, this isn't like years of me using them. I used them really good for the last like 2 or 3 months here. But this is just in case you guys are looking for this winter or upcoming year or whatever. I forgot, these guys were, I believe, rated from like, they're like a 50-degree boot down to like, I think -10, or that might be a different one, but they do keep your feet warm as long as you're moving. Something I discovered the other day, I was fishing and it was cold, and I was just standing there, you know, making cast after cast, and it was cold. My feet started getting cold just standing still. But as soon as I started walking, my feet got hot. So I'm going to say these things, what they do is, like, I have really bad circulation in my feet. So the way these work, I'm going to say, is like as your body heats up inside of them, it retains that body heat. So like if you're getting cold, or like say you're out hiking, obviously it's meant for hiking. So if you're hiking and it's cold out, your feet will stay nice and warm. There's no problem there. But as far as like just standing around, like if you're just going to stand on like the bank of something and fish, or if you're just standing around hanging out like camping somewhere, probably could get, cold feet. But I mean, that might just be me too, because I have poor circulation. What was the one other thing? As far as comfort goes though, I will tell you, the first week wearing these, they were really stiff and they felt kind of like a work boot, if you've ever wore a work boot. And it's the same thing as work boots though. Like, you wear them for like a week or two, and if you're wearing them consistently, they break in. So these have broken in now, and now that they've broken in, they're super comfortable. Like, the shell on them and everything inside of them and the footbed is super comfortable. So I can honestly say, like, if you're looking for something that's like already broken in, probably not, not going to want to get something like this stiff. But if you're okay with walking in them for a little while before they break in, and then having like that durable boot afterwards, the Zone seems to be the one to get. Like I said, this soft shell comes all the way down to here. So like this, the heel, this is stiff. So it's, you know, like if you hit your heel on something, which I did this recently this year, and I hurt my Achilles tendon on a different shoe. If I would have had these on, I probably would have been okay, because this is a pretty stiff little back, and then it's got the toe cap. So like, it's super comfortable as far as flexibility goes, but it's got the protection, it seems, where it's needed. So apparently they designed it very well. So my biggest thing is that the fact that it's actually waterproof. That's why I like them. But if you guys are looking for a pair, I'll list Baffin's site below. I think these are just, they have like the hiking boots or whatever. Other than that, I mean, my best thing I can say is try them. And obviously, you know, if you know me, I'm not going to talk anything negative or positive about something that I haven't tested. And this is something I've been beating up for a while now. So hopefully you guys go out and get yourself some if you need them. And then hopefully that helps you guys out in making some decisions. Obviously look for them on sale and stuff like that, but I will list them below, like I was saying, and that way you guys can actually, like, you know, look through them and see, you know, there might be some other ones that you like, but these are the only ones that I've had personal experience with. Like I said, I don't talk for things that I haven't actually used, so the whole point here is to try and help you guys understand that, like, I live on the water. I mean, this is what I do. I live on the water. So if you guys understand that much, you know that I'm going to beat my stuff up. And if you just happen to be like a weekend person that just kind of goes out every once in a while, obviously they're a really tough, heavy duty boot. So if you're not going to be beating them up, that's another reason. Like, if you don't need that much protection and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a serious boot, the Baffin Zone is definitely going to be the one to go with. So I hope today's video helped you guys out. Obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, please just remember to